Hey friends, today we are going to discuss about very interesting part which everybody is asking about. I'm talking about all the investment types and smart to invest in everything. But when it comes to mutual funds, people start to ask me on in which fund I supposed to invest. There are n number of funds, but where should I put my money? Right? This is the key question. You might be having a short term goal that in within 1 year or 2 year you have to take your family to a trip, so for that you need certain money, or in 5 years you need to buy a car, or you want to buy a home, so for that you need to give some kind of initial deposit, right? So all these things together I made this video so that you can plan your mutual funds, and you can plan your SIPs. You can do everything by yourself. You can become an expert end of this video. So this is Sundar and you are watching Mindful Finance. Now let's get into that. You guys are now really interested in how to select the best mutual funds in that world, or in our Indian market. I'll guide you step by step. First, before that, you should understand few points which I'm going to guide over here. You follow this step, and then I'll demonstrate in detail about how to find the best mutual funds. But before that, you need to understand the basic parts, which is why part. Why I keep on insisting everyone is, see, unless and until if you don't know the answer of why, it might go in a philosophical way, but why is very much important. See, our entire life is we cover only the what part and how part. We know what we're supposed to do. I need to go to job. I need to do my work today. I need to go and finish this task. I need to come home back and play with my kids, watch TV, everything, right? What I need to do, that is clear. That is what we keep on doing it. And how we are doing it, we go by bus, we go by car, we go by walk. By work I'm earning it. How I'm earning money? By work I'm earning money. How I'm enjoying with my family? By playing. All those things are fine. But first understand why you are doing it. Why I need to go to job. Why I need to buy a car. Why I need to play with my kids. Right? Understand this thing. If you focus and mindfully, if you look into those things, you will enjoy your every minute of your life, every moment of your life. Always I tell this one, we take time as very light. Okay, we don't care about the time. We just ignore the importance of time. We all go to sleep assuming that tomorrow morning we will wake up, but we won't know what happens. But we think, okay, we have next day, day after tomorrow, we have next week. So we plan something to do on particular day, but we don't know that day will come or not. Time is very crucial here. So don't delay anything. Don't do procrastination. Anything you want to do, start now. Don't wait someone will come and tell you and guide you on anything. My key point here is learn these things by yourself. Do this kind of investment stuff by yourself. My goal is not to give a stock tip or anything. My goal is to educate you. You should yourself to find all those kind of stocks or mutual funds. That is my goal. Okay, let's jump into this. So first thing is, when you are starting your investment, understand why you are investing. You need to understand your goals. Am I investing for a short-term trip? Am I investing for buying a home? Or am I investing for my wealth creation so that I can settle, I can retire very peacefully? Am I saving for annuity kind of thing, like I need every month some kind of money? So understand your goal and plan your things. Second, you need to understand your risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is such that if you invest in certain fund or stock, right, when you start your investment, understand about your risk profile. That is, when you invest today, when you put a money, let's say 100 rupees today, and tomorrow if you come back and see that the 100 rupees become 95 rupees or 98 rupees or even 50 rupees, if you get panic, then you won't fit into certain category, right? Your risk profile is not high, your risk profile is very low. So A fund which performs in that way, which the fund which is very volatile in nature, which can go 20% up or 20% down, those kind of funds will not work for you. So you have to plan it accordingly. But in the whole essence, if you are planning for a long term, you need to go with high risk thing. For example, if you are planning for 15 years or 20 years, you have to go for long term view. So in that case, you need to go for equity based funds. You cannot go for debt funds. But if you plan for a short term trip, like 1 year or 2 year you want to plan something, so go for a debt fund, because the return will be very less, but your money will be safe, and at least it will try to beat the inflation. So plan your goals and accordingly find the right funds. When it's a short term, go for debt funds. When it is a medium term, like you want to invest only for 3 years or 4 years, then go for hybrid funds. And if you are planning for long term, which is like 20 years, 15 years, then go for equity funds. Hope you got about your risk profile. The third one is your fund performance. Go back and check the funds about in the past, how it is performed. See, in the past it could have performed 30% return or 25% return. But keep in your mind that every mutual fund has an average returns. So don't expect the same return you'll get this year also. The past you might have received 30%. We won't know in next coming year also you will get 30%, right? So that part you have to be very clear. But to understand that, you have to do a back test and average it. What is the average return you get from that fund? So that is the one. The next one is about fund manager. Fund managers becomes very, very important thing when you think about mutual funds, because all the things which we are discussing is not index fund, which is not a passive one. It's all active funds. When you talk about active funds, there is a fund manager sitting and using your money in investing in the market, right? So for that, you need to understand who is handling your money, past record, whether he can handle your money or not. All those things you have to do. Without understanding the fund manager, please don't start your investment, because you are giving money to someone, your money, right? And you are going to someone who is going to handle your money. So make sure who is your fund manager is about. Okay. And next one is about expense ratio. Expense ratio is when you start investing, your money is taken, say some percentage of amount will be every SIP you make, from that some amount is going to fund manager, because they are spending time in research and analysis. So they will take some amount and they will have some kind of a percentage. Just look for expense ratio. If it is more expense ratio, try to avoid that. Okay, because even though you get more return, your return will be erased because of this expense ratio. And next one more point is about exit load. Exit load is very important. People doesn't, when they start the investment, they sometimes ignore about this exit load. For example, there are funds like balance fund, all those things, which will have a kind of a locking period, a minimum period, which is at least you need to invest for 3 years. If you withdraw within 3 years, you may incur some percentage, which is called exit load. For example, you have invested 100 rupees, and if the exit load is 1%, you will get only 99 rupees. Think about that, 1%. If the overall return is 13%, 1% will go in your exit load. So make sure about exit load, and don't try to exit before that maturity period. The next thing is about scheme information document, which is SID, which talks about all the strategies about what is this fund is about, where they are investing, what kind of strategies they are following, whether it's momentum based or value based, whatever it is, they'll explain all those things so that you can understand the risk of those funds. So when you define your risk profile, you can go through this document and understand whether is it good for or not, right? So don't worry, this information which I am telling is for you to understand. I'll demonstrate website where I invest. I'm using that for almost like 3 years now. This is the best app, I would say. There you can see all those things in one screen and you can decide easily. But to decide that, you need to know this basics. And the next point is asset allocation. I keep on telling this. Asset allocation is very important. When you have more risk, you can have more proportion towards or allocation towards equities and less for debt. But when you grow, right, you have to reduce your equity part and increase your debt part. So that is how the asset allocation works. Asset allocation also are based on a risk profile. So you need to find a fund which matches your risk appetite and this asset allocation strategy. And again, everybody knows that, everybody looks at that, which is reviews and ratings, right? You can read through reviews, we can find out the ratings, you can check what is the rank of that fund, all those things you can go through, and that also another point to check and design. And the last but not least, which is regular monitoring. I keep on saying that mindful finance, which the reason is you should know what is happening at this point of time, right? You need to be very clear. So keep track of your investments and what the fund manager is doing, how your fund is performing. So keep a track on that. At least monthly once or bi-monthly, you have to keep a track. Understand whether is there any change in their strategy or is there any change in their asset allocation. Just have a look at it, and if you find anything discrepancy, or if you find anything problem with that, try to exit that. Now the next thing is, I'll show you how to define your goals, how to track your funds. The reason is you should know why, right? First you have to define your why part, and then based on your why you find your goals, okay, and then find your target amount, how much you want. Based on that you find a best fund performing fund and check how much SIP you need to do, right? And track your investments. So I have an Excel sheet. I'll share the template with you guys. You can download and you can track it by yourself. Before that I'll share you the screen and tell you what I'm talking about here, okay? If you see this is the Excel sheet which I have, okay? First you define your goals, which is short term goals, medium term, long term, whether you are saving it for tax purpose, and or if you are saving for your retirement purpose, which is wealth creation, and if you want to have for what is it, annuity kind of a thing, like pension kind of a thing, like every month you want some money. So what is the plan? Okay, all those things you mark it down, and I have given the list of type of funds suitable for this criteria, okay? And this is the fund name. You can pick the right fund for you and put it over here, and type your goal name, what is the goal, and this will give you an idea about how much SIP you need to pay, okay? So this column is something that what is the amount you are expecting and when you are expecting that amount. So just enter this amount and the date. It will guide you how much SIP you need to make, and I'll tell you the step-by-step process. For example, I want to invest in short-term goals, which is I want to go to Goa and I need an amount of 1,50,000. I need that money by 1/5/2025. Now the sheet you go for the short-term goal, short-term or maximum debt fund. So this the rate of return. So this you have to find out. I'll show you the list of mutual funds, how to browse through the mutual funds and pick the funds. When you identify the mutual funds, get the rate of interest and put the rate of interest over here. And if you want to start with some minimum quantity of investment, mention that amount. That's it. It will give you in 17 months you will have 1,50,000, and this is the SIP, okay? So that will come over here. You just need to enter what is the percentage return you are expecting. For that you need to find a right stock. You need to find the right stock, which is, this is the website or app I use, which is, it's been very long time I'm using it. It's a very best app. It guides you through all type of funds. Right now we are planning for short-term funds, which is debt funds. If you see, the debt funds are average returns of 4% to 5%. So what you have to do is you go back. So this is a high level idea, right? The maximum, minimum to maximum. So let's average return 4 to 5. So 4.5 is my average return, okay? Now you go to your Excel sheet. I need 1,50,000. Expected rate is this much, and go to this one, and here I'm going to mark it as 4.5 as my average return, okay? When you do that, you will get an SIP amount, how much you need to invest every month. Now going back to our mutual fund screen, you have to pick the right fund here. So you have all this type of debt funds. Let's go to whichever you want. Like let me check for corp bond, okay? If you go here, you'll see this list of all the funds available. You can filter through different criteria, and if you see, this is the AEM, This is the return it has given in the past 3 years. Since I have a short term goal, so just see 1 year. In 1 year, if you see in average, it is giving 7%. But it's okay, 7% is good. See, when you plan for less percentage and it gives more percentage, it's well and good. But let's go with always an assumption of less percentage. But when you're choosing the fund, make sure you're choosing the right good fund. Okay, and this is the expense ratio. If you see which one is giving less expense ratio, 0.2%, which is Franklin India, and the return it is giving 6.94%. If you go back and see max, this is 3.34%, but it is 7.23. So if you compare this, it is like 0.1% expense ratio, and the return is here 7.23, and Franklin Templeton 6.94. Almost this is 0.23. So almost same, right? When you compare the expense ratio and the return, it is giving same, right? Instead of expense ratio, they are giving it through return. So almost everything comes in the same basket. So this is one way of checking it, and let's plan for this one, ICICI Prudential. Okay, click on ICICI Prudential. You see this orange color one is in the corporate bond index. This is the average return, the orange color one. Okay, and this fund is this return. We assumed of 4.5%, right? Our SIP is 8.6. So here, go to monthly SIP section and apply 8.8, almost like 9,000. Okay, if you invest 9,000, you see 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. Let's see 1 year. In 1 year, your return is 4.7k. So this is something giving a past return. This is not a future return. This is based on the past performance. If you start investing in last 1 year, this is your return. The last 3 years, this is your return. So it is a past performance. Okay, it's not the future performance. So based on this, you can simulate and see if I invest 9k, my return will be 4.7k. Right? If you see in our Excel sheet, let's go to our Excel sheet here. Okay, my SIP is 8,000. If you see here, my invested amount is 1,46,584, and what I am getting 1,50,000. Right? Since it's a short duration, so your return will be less only. Right? If you similarly, if I go for next is our midterm, medium term goals. So you can go for hybrid funds, balanced funds, all those things. Right? And you can select which fund you want. That you have to go and check. Before that, you have to set what is my medium term goal. I need an amount of 5 lakhs, and I expecting it to be on 8/12/28. So go to this medium term Excel sheet here. Okay, in 60 months, if I invest, I'm assuming a 20% of return. So I will go back and check, confirm what is the return you get from the hybrid fund. Okay, for that, let's go to our screen now. Okay, so here you can find the hybrid funds, right? There are multiple hybrid funds. If you see, average returns are 17 to 19%. Arbitrage is there, but which is 5 to 6%. This you don't need. Okay, find out which one is suitable for you. Like 10 to 12% is equity savings. Multi-asset is 17 to 19%. So let's go. These are 3-year returns. Okay, so this matches our number of years also almost, right? So let's say 17 to 19%, which is 18%. So now go to our Excel sheet and here mark it as 18%. So your SIP amount is 5,222, right? And now come to our thing. Let's go to multi-asset. So you will find all the list of funds. You see the expense ratio. Fine. See, this is quant fund is. I have already made a video on quant fund, which is the best fund, I would say. But it's not an investment advice. But go through my video about quant fund and learn about what is quant fund, and then go against that. Okay. So let's see. See, this is 0.4%, but return is 16.28. So let's go to quant multi-asset fund. Okay. And if you come here, see, this is the average of this multi-asset allocation indexes. Okay. And this is the performance of quant multi-asset fund. If you check for monthly SIP, and we are going to plan for 5,000 approximately, right? 5,000 or 6,000, let's say. So your return in 5 years would be 2.6L. What is our duration for our investment? 60 months. So total 5 years. So your investment is going to be for 5 years and 60 months. Your EMI is 5,222 rupees. So it has given you clarity about how much to invest, and you are getting a profit gain of 2.6 lakh. And now let's go drill down further. Okay, if you see this fund, if you browse below, you'll see lot of insights about this mutual fund. What is its past performance, and they compare with other funds also, right? And you can see the expense ratio, exit load. Exit load is something 1%, which I explained, right? If you withdraw within a limit, within a time period, then you will be charged as 1%. There is no lock-in, but still they have exit load, which means any point of time if you exit, it's 1% is charged for you. Okay, and you can see the allocation, like equity is 56, debt and cash is 5.6%. And equity, if you see, large cap is this much, mid cap is this much, small cap is this much, mid cap is this much. You can see the allocation percentage, and also monthly wise you'll see the sector percentage allocation. You can track this one, like every month how they are allocating. If you go back and check this, in August, if you see, the allocation was 13.6%. Now it is 19.3%. So they reduce the, okay, where is the financial? Okay, 16.8%. From 33 it has become 16.8. So they have reduced their finance related stocks. So that way, so they are trying to keep up with the momentum based on the market. They are rebalancing their portfolio, right? This is good. So basically you need to understand how they are rotating the stocks, what are the stocks they are holding in it, and what is the, so you can see what are the stocks they have invested, and where their concentrations are going on. Like top 5 companies they are holding at 28.7%. And if you see the peer analysis, like what is the other things are doing compared to this particular fund in the time, so you can parallelly do a peer analysis also, right? So and about fund manager, who is the fund manager, and that AMC details, this is your risk profile, whether this fund is a very high risk or low risk. And yeah, so you can do complete thorough in one screen itself, right? You can decide which one to choose, and you can compare also. Like for example, if I go here, I pick this, I pick that, I can click this and compare one more fund. Okay, equity hybrid. See, Nippon is performing low, Quant is performing high. So likewise, you can add all your mutual fund and you can compare the past performance. Okay, within, if you see in the short duration how it is, everything you can compare. So this, I'll share the link to register in this one. This is a very good platform. This is called IND Money. It is a best product. I have tried multiple things, like I have tried Grow, I have tried Zero the Coin, I tried multiple type of thing, right? This is the best platform to. I'm not paid for this one, okay, but the link which I sharing could be, it's like a referral link, so that may give some kind of credits for my thing. But the point here is I'm not they are not sponsored for this video, right? But the point here is, this gives you complete clarity about the funds which you are looking for, and it will guide you to make a decisions. It will not confuse you for sure. Okay, that is my experience. So now coming back to our Excel here. So similarly, what we can do is, you can plan for all your funds and select that funds from the platform and list out that and find out how much SIP you need to pay, all those things. Okay, the one more thing is, this particular thing is, like for example, wealth building. I need 2 crores here. Okay, for that I can plan certain. If I go to wealth creation, so I have made an average of 15% kind of a fund I have selected. My SIP is 21,000. Okay, so I achieved this by say 2040. Now my retirement has started. Now how would I get a regular based income from this one, right? It could be a fixed, it could be a debt fund, whatever it is, right? So You can go back and find out. And what I have done is, like, if I invest 2 lakhs at that point of time, every month I get 1,55,000. How I get? So I need at least the fund which I am going to select at least need to give 7% of return. If I get the 7% of return, my 2 crore will give me 1,55,000 every month. So for that you have to find and select a fund, the method of which I already shown. So good. Hope you got some complete idea about now what to do and how to do. Why to do is a key point, right?